It's Madden NFL 24, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Washington Commanders and the Denver Broncos, and it's coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Washington Commanders and the Denver Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
And off we go from Denver. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Wilson going to come out throwing. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. They've got his man complete. A huge play there for Denver. 46 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Now Wilson on first down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So Fry now, after the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
Now 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards that time. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Holding offense.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Straight ahead, Gibson. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On second down, here's Gibson again. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. They begin the drive with Williams. Able to power through. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Wilson. And he will slide down with the first down for the moment, but a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing is Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Dax Milne deep for Washington. take it at the 37. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he's got it across midfield and in the Denver territory. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Once more, Gibson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
He was brought down by Pat Surtain. A gain of 22 yards. First down, Washington.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Broncos 3, Commanders 0.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
This time they'll throw it with Howell. This one left side caught by Gibson. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held into an okay gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Denver's offense ready to go again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Williams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Wilson's throw caught here by Dosich. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And Sutton will have the Broncos first down as a tackle made at the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Second and 10. Now Wilson. Touchdown Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So now Fry back out following the score. He'll send this one away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Commanders back out late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Howell. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back to Gibson, and another catch for him. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
But that return had all the trappings of really good scouting. You can tell that they thought they saw something on tape that they could take advantage of, and they dialed it up at just the right time to give them a great return.
First chance for the Commanders offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second down, Howell now. Going right back to Dodson. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Howell. His throw complete right side to Bates, the tight end. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Another throw for Howell. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
3rd and 2. Here's Howell. Touchdown! Logan Thomas from 6 yards away. And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do. You get hungrier. You get greedy in a good way.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion for us there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to have the Broncos 1st down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. Now about right there, he ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
On the counter, here's Williams. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Washington offense set to take over again. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Howell and the Commanders come up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he short arms that one just a bit. It's low and incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Howell down to throw it. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Howell's throw taken in by Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll also be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. Here's a 2nd and 5. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Back to throw, Howell. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 42. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Howell out of the shotgun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Now a 2nd and 10. With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw it. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
It's Howell with another throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And out of bounds right around the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Throwing here, Howell. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Josie Jewell, the linebacker, getting the sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Sly able to put this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It was Deron Payne who got in there to make the play.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A huge play there for Denver. 44 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of. Trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Wilson. A throw left side, hold in by Henry. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead.
Ron Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out the red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Marr is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. And now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Here comes 2nd down and 5. Powell to throw. Eluding the... And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Randy Gregory, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's returnable now for Smith. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Wilson's throw caught here by Dosich. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And that's caught by Williams. And that won't help much. Only a yard on 1st down.
And that absolutely cannot happen. Just a gain of a yard in this situation, you've got to get chunks of yardage. Otherwise, the defense, very happy with what you're doing.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
Throwing now is Wilson. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice... Get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry. I'd stay with him.
This one swung out to Williams. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle,
Everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Here's Howell. A quick throw there is incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Oh, Howell loses it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. Inside the 10. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. So it all rests now on the right foot of Brett Maher. Washington looking for another timeout, and they get it. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And it'll be all smiles on Blake Street tonight. The Broncos have won it. And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. Well, Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.